enjoy what...
First ever.
A 2-on-1. Oh!
Did he bring it in? He did!
It is
Caught!
Live from Lake Orion High School, the NFHS Network is proud to present Varsity Boys Lacrosse. Our game tonight features the visiting 10-2 Clarkston Wolves and the home team, the 10-3 Lake Orion Dragons, in a battle between two bitter rivals and two heavyweights of the sport. Hi, everybody. I'm Aiden Novak, along with my partner, Dylan Lindberg. Welcome to Dragon Stadium. We have a phenomenal game on our hands here tonight. 10-3 Lake Orion, 10-2 Clarkston. Bitter crosstown rivals. Dylan, what an exciting one tonight.
You mentioned rivalries, and that is not an understatement as the goalies trot out here, but a multi-sport rivalry that we see across every game that these two schools play against each other, whether it be on this field, football, lacrosse, in Dragons gym, playing basketball, volleyball, anything of the sort, baseball, softball, golf. Bitter rivalry.
Safe to say these two teams do not like each other whatsoever, and like you said, it's every single sport you could imagine. So here we go. Face-off is Jackie Vasquez and Jason Martindale, and here we go. We are underway. Dragons win the face-off, and right off the bat, the referee gets hit with a pass.
And this one's going to be a physical game. You'll be able to tell right off the get-go as you see these teams going at it right now as Narlock has it in the axe, but these teams will go at each other with physical relentlessness. All rules, regulations, and cautiousness goes out the window as soon as these two teams see each other on their schedules.
Trying to get in one team's head, that's the name of the game here with that physicality. Is there's a bad pass by Narlock that gets by Jackie Vasquez and scooped up by the Wolves' Lucas Dighton. Wolves have it. Here is Travis Bourdin.
And a quick goal.
Quick goal for the Wolves. That is number 17, Parker Royce.
And this is exactly the opposite of the Dragons team that we've seen. And the 10-3 Dragons that we've seen all year. They are known for their very good defense and their slow-paced offense. But on this possession, they got the ball, they went up the court, or went up the field, and they didn't get anything going. They didn't try to pass the ball around. There was a bad pass by Narlock. To be just frank, it was a bad pass, and it didn't get anyone. As the Wolves will get another chance now.
Good save there by the goalie, number 88, Landon Westby. A shot there by Alex Davis, sophomore.
But the Dragons are known for their very good, very physical defense, and I don't think Royce got touched.
There's another goal by the Wolves.
Again, just no physicality on defense. The Dragons are going to need to step it up. The Wolves come out here as one of the best teams in the state, and the Dragons look like they're going to shoot themselves in the foot early and give up a 2-0 lead.
Denny Wandre gets the goal for the Wolves. Quick, too, for Clarkston. Barely a minute into this game.
The Dragons need to step it up on defense if they want any chance of winning this game, or it's just going to become a bigger and bigger hole that they're going to dig themselves.
And here we go. The Wolves are right back on offense, trying to make a statement early and gain control as quick as they can. Here's Dighton. Way outside, that's Luke Damel. There's Bourdin, Travis Bourdin inside. Good pass inside to number 32, Charlie Formaro.
And that's going to be a
And
goal.
Clarkston scores again. It's number 17, Parker Royce, for the second time already. Rough start for the Dragons. The Wolves jump on top quickly, very quickly. Still not even 2 minutes in. It's 3-0.
And the Dragons just can't find a solution to Parker Royce. He's barely getting touched in front of the goal, and the Dragons are almost letting him through, and the goalie, Landon Westby, just can't get a stick to it.
And the Wolves are dominating from the faceoff and just putting the pressure on the Dragons. There's a pass to the outside to Darnell. Clarkston going to get some subs in here. Darnell's got it again. Down low, there's Parker Royce again. There's Dighton behind the net. Dangerously close to the crease. Long shot fired by Bourdin. He scores. Travis Bourdin puts the Wolves up 4-0. Oh, my goodness.
And if I'm the Dragons right now, I have to think about possibly switching something up on defense.
They have to.
4 straight goals in less than 3 minutes. Obviously, your defense isn't playing at all. I mean, right now, the defense looks like they're, taking a nap, and they got their baby bottle and their pacifier back there, and they're not doing anything. You got to step it up here.
The Dragons finally getting a possession on offense. They've had 1 possession, and it ended in a turnover on a bad pass by Kobe Narlock. Dragons need desperately to get a goal now. Just over 2 minutes into the game, Clarkston already up 4-0.
And maybe the Wolves can show the Dragons how to play a little bit of defense, but you got to score quickly here. You can't let yourself be down 4-0, and that morality that you're going to get into to where, any point you're down 4-0, you can't feel like you're out of the game. Get something on the board, and just a bad.
I couldn't tell if Gingell was trying to fire a shot there or if he was trying to get a pass off to Van Hoosen.
It looked like a combination of the two.
Looked like the way the Dragons were running after it. Yes, they called it a shot. It might have gotten deflected.
Yeah, it looked like a Wolf defender got in there. Possibly number 7, Mason Miller might have got a stick to that.
Wolves suffocating defense near midfield, and they've got it right back. That's Jason Martindale, scoops up the loose ball. And here come the Wolves again. Pass down low.
And he lost the ball.
Dropped by Luke Darnell. He had a wide open shot. Just nobody in front of him other than the goalie, Westby.
And how the Dragons have been playing defense today, that probably would have been a open net free goal for the Wolves.
And we've got a timeout by Coach Hubert and the Lake Orion Dragons trying to make any sort of adjustments after a rough start. This year, the MHSAA is celebrating a century of sports. Help celebrate 100 years of the MHSAA by visiting us online to see exclusive content about the people, places, and things that make school sports so special. Rivalries, records, and remembering some of the state's top players. Relive it all at MHSAA.com. Thank you to everyone who has been part of a century of sports.
Well, the Dragons down 4-0. The Wolves lead it with 8 minutes and 26 seconds left to go in this first quarter. A barrage of offense from the Wolves comes out and stuns the Dragons' defense, as there's nothing really that they did that can be highlighted in those first 3 minutes of the game.
And this happened this past Thursday when the Dragons traveled to Stony Creek to take on the Cougars. And they got down 5-1 at the end of the first quarter. They did end up coming back and winning that game. However, Clarkston is way too good of a team to get into this big of a hole this early into the game and try and play catch-up.
And you took the words almost out of my mouth. The Wolves are not a Stony Creek level team. The Clarkston Wolves are one of, if not the best teams in the state right now in boys lacrosse. And you're going to go down 4-0 and expect to come back. I mean, you can't do that. There's no excuse for being able to go down 4-0, and you can have confidence in yourself that you can come back, but if the Wolves keep their foot on the gas, it's unlikely.
There's not much of a chance for the Dragons if the Wolves play at this pace, as there's a turnover in their defensive end that could be crucial. Scooped up by That is Luke Darnell. He's got it back again, fires a sidearm shot, just pulls it a little bit to the right, out of bounds. We'll stay with the Wolves. Parker Royce was in the area.
And again, no one guarding Darnell on that shot. He was wide open and had a full look at the goal. You know, you see it in basketball a lot. When a shooter has a wide open look at the net, you get a hand in their face. It disrupts their view. You got to get your body in the way of that shot. You know, taking a lacrosse ball to the chest might hurt, but if it's going to save your team a goal, then
by all means, you got to do it.
You got to do it. You can't stand back and let him get a full look at the net, because the skill level that Luke Darnell has, he's going to score that 9 out of 10 times.
Absolutely right. And even with the big frame with Landon Westby, he's still able to find the gaps. There's Dighton all the way around. Jump shot! And they call no goal. The ball was deflected. It looked like good save there by Westby.
And Royce lost it there for a second, but he gets it back.
Here's Bourdin. Solid defense there by number 49, Lane Garris. Here's Wandre. And he will just camp out in the X behind the net. Makes a move. Underneath, scores! Denny Wandre. Have a night so far, Clarkston. 5-0. We're not even halfway done in this first quarter. That is Wandre's second.
And just confusion and pure confusion going through the Dragons' minds right now. It has to be, because, you know, you came into this game and it's a rivalry matchup, so you always expect it to be close. But the Wolves come out and score 5 straight in less than half of this game. In that half of this first quarter, excuse me. 6 minutes and 16 seconds left. They scored 5 goals in a little over 5 minutes.
Just absolutely phenomenal play so far by the Wolves, just dominating on either side, not giving Lake Orion any chances on offense and taking advantage of all their offensive chances, as there's another goal by the Wolves. This one is Sean Sinclair, the freshman, number 24, gets on the board for the first time, and it's 6 goals in as many minutes.
And if you're the Dragons, and that's exactly what they're going to do, you got to get Westby out of there. You cannot continue to let your team or let the goalie give up that many goals. 6 goals in 6 minutes is unacceptable at the varsity high school level. You got to sub him out. You got to get another guy in. You got to get the chance. You got to give Chris Haney a chance to come back and start blocking some shots.
We'll see if that changes anything for the Dragons. Obviously, the goalie change isn't going to help their faceoffs and their offense, as Clarkston's got it one more time. It is Jason Martindale has got it again off the faceoff. Here is Bourdin. Goes left side. Shovels it to the X. That is Royce down to Darnell. Darnell going to work on Lights. Lights locks him up.
Good defense by Lights. He's going to have to be a standout defensive man for this Lake Orion team and show his teammates that, yes, guys, we have to play defense to be able to win the game. We can't give up 6 goals in 6 minutes and expect to win.
He's got to show these guys, all these guys got to say, hey, we're down, but we're not out. We got to figure something out. We got to come back, because there's a shot fired by Charlie Formaro. Goes wide right. Looks like it will stay with the Wolves, as Lucas Dighton was down there.
And if you're the Dragons, you know, you got to get something's got to shock. And shock that offense alive and shock this defense alive.
There was a good save by Haney on the low shot by Dighton. And Dighton will try high this time, and he goes wide right.
And the Dragons starting to play better defense, but they need to get the ball back and get it on offense. You know, you can't start playing defense now and not have any offense because, I mean, the Wolves don't have to score again. They just have to play good defense and not let you score now.
Lights is going to pick it up. 4.5 to go in this first quarter. Wolves are dominating 6-0. Here is Jack Collins up the field. Dishes out to, looks like Grady Harbin.
And someone's got to be a spark on offense for the Dragons now.
Who will that spark be is the question. Most of their goals come from either Jackie Vasquez, Kobe Narlock, or Parker Gannon. Vasquez has it right now in the X, being absolutely clamped by Lucas Seedorf.
This is another guy right here, Jeffrey Gordon, who can get it going on offense.
He's got a lethal sidearm shot. He wanted to try it. He loves shooting that sidearm shot on the run to his right side. That is his best shot. As here's Brzezinski near the 30. And he'll cut to the middle. He's got a lane. He dishes inside to Van Hoosen. He lost control, and Gingell there to pick it up just before it goes out of bounds, and he lost the ball. Could be another costly turnover for the Dragons. It's only in the first quarter, but every turnover at this point is extremely costly when you're down by this much. As this could be a break for the Dragons. The ball's loose, and there it is. Gingell's got it to the middle. Hard hit by number 8, Paul Lemieux. Now settle it down out near midfield with Parker Gannon, one of the captains of this team.
And Gannon's a guy that if you let him get going, he can make this game close.
And he'll go inside with the left-hand low shot, knocked up in the air and saved by the goalie, Robert Herachich.
It looks like the Dragons are going to get it back on a penalty. They're going to call cross-checking on the Wolves.
And it looks like they're going to put number 8 with the penalty. It's going to be on Lemieux.
And the Dragons have their ideal guys out on the field right now. Narlock obviously taking the ball in. Gannon, Brzezinski, Vasquez, and a couple guys playing in the X. Gingell being one of them, along with number 21, Jack Haynes, who's had a couple clutch goals throughout their season.
And this is where the Dragons excel, is with the man advantage on the penalties. Can they make it happen here? Here's Narlock in the middle. He fires a shot. Looked like it was... might have hit the side of the net and just died in the crease. The officials blow the play dead, and they give the ball back to the Dragons. I couldn't really see what happened there on the shot.
But possession's actually going to go to the Wolves here. Looks like they will award it. Dragons got to get the ball back fast and play good defense and not allow the Wolves to score again.
And that's one way to get the ball back fast. A hard check by Narlock.
Late flag by the referee, and it looks like there's going to be some argument on the Lake Orion sideline.
Yeah, that's Coach Hubert talking with the referee, and he doesn't seem too happy. They're going to get Narlock for a penalty here. As number 2, Denny Wandre, who's got 2 goals in this first quarter for the Wolves, is down on the sidelines. And he's in some visible pain. It was a hard hit by Narlock.
And I'm not sure exactly what went on, but Narlock looked like he was going for the ball. I'm not sure. The referees are discussing. It was definitely a late flag, though. That play was, the hit came, a solid 5-6 seconds before the flag was thrown. So you don't know if there's going to be discussion on if they're going to pick it up or not. They are going to call a legal body check on Narlock, though.
Coach Hubert does not like that call whatsoever. As we're about ready to resume play once again, as Wandre is still being attended to on the sidelines.
And Coach Hubert's going to take this time to talk to his guys, obviously.
And here we go. We are right back in action as Dighton takes it up, as both teams now shorthanded, but the Clarkston penalty nearing its end. So here's Dighton again on the 30. Dighton goes to the middle, fires a sidearm shot, and it goes wide, and he takes a tumble. And it's still Wolf ball. Parker Royce will take it out. Looks like for the Wolves. Dighton in the middle. Now Darnell. Wolves looking to work the perimeter here and open up a window. Dighton goes to the middle, was looking for Martindale. He lost the ball, and that's going to be a turnover. Dragon ball. The Clarkston penalty is over. Narlock about ready to come back on the field. Lights launches that ball down to Vasquez.
Dragons are going to need to do something here. Penalty is gone now. Narlock comes out, or excuse me. Yep, as Narlock comes out here now.
Here he comes, in full strength now for the Dragons. Gannon gives it to him.
Both teams successfully killed the penalty, but the Dragons needed to capitalize on that.
Narlock pump fakes, now goes to the middle. Now he's going to fire another shot. There's a flag on the play. There's a penalty coming. Dragons going to look to score before that penalty so they can go.
You got to take advantage of this because you know you're going to get the ball back no matter what happens here.
And you're going to be up a man if you score. Scoring here would be ideal.
Only 50 seconds left. So whatever the penalty is, it will go into the second quarter now.
Haynes behind the net. Pass to Vasquez. Vasquez trying to find a window, and we got another penalty coming.
They're gonna end.
They blow the whistle. Play is dead. We might have 2 penalties on that Dragon possession. This could be huge for Lake Orion.
Looks like they're going to number 4, Jason Martindale, along with
number 24, Sean Sinclair, looks like. No, they're just sending Sinclair to the sidelines. Martindale is serving a penalty.
Along with Mason Miller, number 7.
This could be huge for the Dragons. They've got 6 guys on offense, and Clarkston's only got 4 on defense.
6 on 4, 6 on 5 if you're including the goalie, but
really only 4 defenders on the field. The Dragons have to capitalize on this one.
And the Dragons are known for that methodical passing, and there's always going to be a guy open, no matter what. I mean, you could try to card 2 guys at once, but one guy's going to be open, and almost the Wolves are almost playing a box right now, just not letting anything close get in there.
Just don't let anybody get inside that box. As Gannon fires a shot, he spikes it, and it goes out of bounds. Dragons retain it with 20 seconds left in this first quarter. They have still yet to find the back of the net. The Wolves still lead 6-0. Not much action in the back half of this first quarter, though. Both teams scoreless since the 6:16 mark.
You got to go fast here. You got to score before this quarter ends.
And Gannon's going to try, and it
Off
got blocked.
Narlock.
Got blocked. Was it by Narlock?
It looked like it was off Narlock's body.
And that will end the first quarter. Straight domination by the Clarkston Wolves in these first 12 minutes. 6-0 your score. Still a long game ahead, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect for all those involved in the game.
Enjoy the game.
Welcome back to Dragon Stadium. Your score, Clarkston 6, Lake Orion nothing, in what was a very, very one-sided first quarter. Just domination on offense and defense by the Wolves. However, Lake Orion's got an opportunity here that they must capitalize on if they are to get back in this game at all. They have a two-man advantage bleeding into this second quarter. It's going to be 6-on-4 on the offensive side.
And late in that first quarter, the Dragons look to start getting it going, but a couple missed shots and missed opportunities by the Dragons. They do have the man advantage, and they get the ball to start off this second quarter.
The Dragons will now be going left to right across your screen. As here we go. Dragons got to score here with the two-man advantage.
And they only got about 30 seconds left-ish. Maybe.
Probably even less than that by now. As here's Brzezinski. Finds Vasquez. Low shot saved. Launched up in the air by the goalie, Robert Herachich. Great save. As there's Brzezinski. Fires a high shot and he scores. And that's exactly what the Dragons needed.
Momentum shift is what you're going to need if you want any chance of coming back into this game.
That was a bullet from Luke Brzezinski. They're on the board. Wow. Top right corner, just a bullet from Luke Brzezinski.
And the Dragons, that'll end the man advantage for the Dragons, but momentum shift.
They got what they wanted. They got what they needed. First goal of the game for the Dragons scored by Luke Brzezinski, the senior. And the face-off will be between Vasquez and Martindale. Vasquez wins it. Martindale's been dominating on the face-offs all night. Vasquez gets the better of him here.
The Dragons are going to need to capitalize on another offensive possession. Go down by 4 and have the momentum going into this late first quarter.
Vasquez has it near the midfield.
And don't rush yourself. The Dragons are known for playing that slow offense and getting guys open. You can't just stray away from what you've been good at all year just because you're down. You have 3 quarters left. You can't score all 5 goals at once. You need to time these out. You need to play your style of offense and not speed up to the Wolves' pace or play to their level of game.
There's a low shot there fired from the left side by Narlock, and it rolls out of bounds. Dragons retain it with Gingell here. And Gingell double team there on the sideline. He's got to get rid of it, and he does. Haynes to Vasquez. Vasquez, one of the top goal scorers on this Dragons squad. And he'll work the middle. Back out to Gordon. Pump fakes a pass. Now tries a shot. It gets deflected and knocked away by a Wolf. And it is still Dragon ball.
And Dragons still playing that kind of offense that we've seen, that slow-paced. And the Wolves, we haven't seen them on offense in a while now. The Dragons have been controlling the ball and controlling the clock more and more what we've seen them do earlier in the year.
So here's Vasquez. He's double-teamed. He loses the ball on a great play there by number 8, Paul Lemieux, who was one of the 2 Wolves that got penalized and that led to a Dragon goal. They had that 2-man advantage. Here's Haynes in the X. Spins near the crease. He was looked like he was passing that out to number 5, Joe Gingell, but intercepted with a great reaction by Robert Herachich. And here come the Wolves on offense again.
Wandre just running through multiple Dragon defenders.
Looks like he was feeling better now after that hard hit he took in the first quarter from Kobe Narlock. He's back on the field. Here's Dighton. Wandre and Parker Royce are the 2 leading scorers for the Wolves tonight with 2 goals each. There's a high shot saved by the new goalie for the Dragons, Chris Haney, who came in about midway through the first quarter for Landon Westby.
And one of the first saves by the Dragons that we've seen all night.
Goalie change could make a difference here. We haven't really seen much action from Chris Haney at all tonight up until now because the Wolves are not really on offense whatsoever when Haney has been in net. Dragons have been playing a lot better, controlling the clock, controlling the pace of the game. But here they come again from the middle. There's a low shot fired by Bourdain. Goes wide. Wolves retain it. Here is Royce.
Dragons starting to play better defense.
He'll turn around, fire shot. He scores! Parker Royce with a hat trick.
And the Dragons can't really do anything there. Parker Royce drives around from the X, gets close to the crease, jump shot, bottom left corner. Chris Haney can't get his net there. And the Wolves go back up by 6 as their largest lead of the game.
And that was just a great overall play by Parker Royce. He was in the X behind the net, and then he just drives on the far side, puts his foot in the ground, jump turn like Derek Jeter, and throws it right to the bottom of the net. A beautiful shot. As here they come again, the Wolves win the faceoff, and they're right back on the attack. Here's Darnell, spins to the right side. Just over 8 minutes left in this first half. Wolves lead it 7-1. Here's Martindale. Darnell will give this one up to Wandre. Defended by number 42, Javon Corneal. Braden Weich now finds number 9, Jamison Wald, inside, and he scores. The Wolves continue the dominance. Jamison Wald gets on the board for the Wolves for the first time. Haven't seen much of him tonight, but he comes through there, the sophomore.
That is now the 5th different Wolf to score a goal in the game. Their leading scorer, number 17, Parker Royce, with 3, followed by Denny Wandre with 2, and a couple guys sprinkle in with 1 goal each. Travis Bourdain, Sean Sinclair, and most recently, Jamison Wald.
A little bit of pushing and shoving going on the faceoff there as Jonathan Ducharme, number 52, just put Jason Martindale into the ground, but it's Clarkston ball. There's Royce. He's got the hat trick already tonight. He does not plan on stopping. They give this one up to Charlie for Morrow. Now Darnell! No goal there. Looked like he scored, but it hit the side of the net. Darnell had a good angle on that shot. Haney will pick it up and fling it down to Harbin. He's got speed in the middle.
Dragons going to look for a nice transition goal here.
And they are desperate for one right now. Down by 7, under 7 minutes to play in the first half. They are desperate for something to go right. Here's Nick France has it. Gannon will let the offense set up. And even though it is early in this game with how much the Dragons are down by, it seems like the clock's just ticking and ticking right now. It is only a second quarter, but the Dragons are down by quite a bit. We haven't seen them in this position much this season. As there's Gannon with a huge shot. He was triple covered in the middle and finds a way through it. Just able to get it past the stick of Robert Herachich and find the back of the net. A huge one. Lake Orion needed it.
Down but not out. The Dragons still showing fight. Down 6. They still need a lot more, though. It's not out of reach at all. We've seen the Dragons come back from these kinds of scores and score a lot more. The Dragons can score. We've seen it multiple times. They've scored 15-plus goals in games before. They just have to stop the Wolves, and they have to limit the Wolves' possessions.
They have had some trouble doing that so far tonight, though. As we can see, they've already got 8 goals. They scored 6 in less than 6 minutes. In that first quarter, they came out firing. Their foot was pedal to the metal. It seems the Wolves have slowed it down a little bit. The Dragons have also played a lot better defense. Two teams have been even after the 6-minute mark in the first quarter. There's a bomb of a pass by Chris Haney. And the Wolves scoop it up. No, it's still loose. Now Wandre has it. We got a whistle and a timeout called by the Wolves.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Lake Orion High School's Dragon Broadcasting Program. You can watch LOHS sporting events all year, including several lacrosse games this spring. It costs less than $14 per month to watch sporting events, and nearly half the subscription money goes back to our LOHS program. Tune in online at www.dragonbroadcasting.org. So the Wolves lead 8-2 with 5 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in this first half. Domination is one word to sum up what the Wolves have done on offense, and limited possessions for the Dragons throughout this whole game.
Just domination is the word that I've been using all night, and it's absolutely right. It's just what's happened between these two teams. Granted, they have been a little bit more even after the 6-minute mark, like we were saying, after that first quarter. But in those first 6 minutes, man, it just seemed like it was all Clarkston and then some.
Since the 6-minute mark in the first quarter, it has been a tie game.
2-2, yeah.
2-2 since the 6-minute mark. So if you take that 6 minutes out of the game, it's tied up 2-2 right now. But guess what? You can't take the 6 minutes out of the game.
I bet the Dragons really wish they could right now, man. You really wish.
You have to know how to start a game off, and the Wolves knew how to do that. They came out firing. They came out firing on all pistons, all cylinders, all everything. They didn't miss the net. They consistently scored, and they scored fast. 6 goals in 6 minutes. Now virtually unseen.
That's just phenomenal play. Averaging over a goal a minute, like that's just absolute insanity. It's something you see in a video game. As here the Wolves have it on offense once more. It's the leading scorer, Parker Royce, has it right now. He'll spin to the middle. He's got a window. Fires it wide to the right. He had a shot there. If he went to the left of the net, I think he had a pretty good shot of putting one in right there. It looked like it was pretty open from our angle.
Yeah. Can't ask Parker Royce to do more than he already has in this game. But obviously, another goal packing onto this lead already, putting them up by their largest margin of 7 right now.
And there's still a lot of game to play, so he's obviously looking to do a whole lot more than he's already done. He scored 3 goals in the first half. He's looking for even more. And you already know he's chomping at the bit just to put one more in the back of the net at least. Darnell has it near the 30 on the Clarkston sideline. 4.5 to go. Wolves lead by 6. Darnell lets the offense get set as Charlie Formaro comes out on the field. Here's Darnell pushing around the crease. Now kicks it back outside. There's a fastball fired by number 3, Travis Bourdine, and hits the stick of Haney and goes off the post. And now we're going to have a penalty on the play. 2 flags went in the air as Bourdin went down.
We'll see if this is collectively both flags were thrown for the same event or if there's 2 penalties.
Well, they were thrown at the exact same time, so I'm assuming both referees probably saw the same thing. And Hensley goes to the sideline. He will draw the penalty, and Clarkston has the man advantage.
So now you got to kill the penalty. Looks like they're going to call cross-checking on Hensley.
And it was a violent cross-check. I mean, Bourdin went to the ground hard. So here we go. Wolves looking to tack on their lead with the man advantage. Under 4 minutes to play now. Royce. Dighton to Darnell. Sinclair finds Darnell again, moving the ball around. Dighton been on the field for a long time on this Wolves offense. Has yet to score a goal. As there's great defense there by number 57, Jack Collins. Knocked the ball loose from Formaro. And Formaro chasing it down again. He's able to corral it with Harbin giving chase. Wandre inside to wide open is Sean Sinclair. That might have been the easiest shot that Clarkston's had all night. Sean Sinclair gets his second, and it is 9-2 Wolves. My goodness. And they take advantage of the man advantage.
The Wolves have now regained their largest lead of the game in 7 goals.
Oh, my.
7 goals. Up 7 goals. 9-2 with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
And the Dragons have rarely seen themselves in this position all season long. Let's see if they can respond in any way, shape, or form after just getting absolutely dominated so far in this first half. They need desperately a goal here as quick as they can. 3 minutes left in the first half. Down by 7. Gannon on the right side fires a shot, and that's what they needed. Gannon buries one, and that is his second of the game. As quick as they could get one, they did.
And Gannon has been the spark for this Lake Orion team, but he's been one of the only stars in this game. He has 2 goals now, both coming in the second quarter. But the Dragons are going to need a little bit more than 2 goals to come back from this deficit.
Like you say, Gannon has been the spark. He usually is with the Dragons every single game. He's pretty much always on the board in some way, shape, or form, whether that be assists or goals. He is constantly one of their top performers.
And what the Wolves have been able to do throughout this game is when the Dragons score and have a sense of momentum going their way, they cut it down like a lumberjack in a tree and take that momentum right back.
As they're looking to do that right here, as Royce fired a shot, but Haney was able to snag it, as there's Lane Garris pushing it up the field. Just over 2 minutes to go.
And timeout called by the Dragons.
Coach Hubert going to try and get a play drawn up here for success. Keep up with everything MHSAA on social media. Look us up on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for tournament updates, event announcements, video highlights, and high school sports news from around the state. It's the best way to connect with the MHSAA every day.
9-3, Dragons have possession and are looking to cut the lead to 5 here.
try and gain any sort of momentum heading into halftime, because that's what they need right now. It's just any sort of momentum, just to try and get the ball rolling their way, because they haven't gotten to do that at all so far in this game. It seems like whenever they score a goal, Clarkston comes right back and scores one of their own and just kills any momentum that they generated at all.
And yeah, the Dragons just need something to start going their way. They need that swing of momentum. They need the pendulum to swing and maybe, somebody hold it there for a little bit more of this game than it's been there. It seems like the pendulum of momentum has just been, it touches the Dragons and then it decides, yeah, we're going to sit with the Wolves for a little bit here now.
Just swing right back in the blue and gold's favor and just stay there for a while.
And the Dragons are going to need to capitalize on this now. They've had opportunities to score goals, but they just haven't been able to capitalize. But credit to Chris Haney, who has stepped it up in goal for the Dragons. He's allowed 3, but that's also in more than 6 minutes, which the Dragons gave up 6 goals in 6 minutes, and then he came in, and this Wolves offense is absolutely star-studded. Any of these guys are going to score a goal on any given night.
And we've seen that with 5 different players scoring. 3 of them have more than 1. As here's Brzezinski. He spikes that shot. Ginjal recovers it. Gordon now has it.
Gordon been pretty quiet tonight.
Fires that shot on the run, and it is snagged by Hericic. As here come the Wolves again. Brzezinski trying to chase down number 11, Lucas Seedorf, and he just dumps it to Damian Miller.
And that's going to be a turnover by the Wolves, so Dragons will regain possession here.
Dragons must capitalize on this opportunity. Must. Under a minute and a half left. 9-3 Wolves. As that ball was dropped by Collins, but he regains possession and launches it down the field. Ginjal thought he had it in his stick. He just took off up the sideline, and he just and it bounced right past him.
And the Wolves will look to chew this clock out and go into halftime with a 6-goal lead. Or maybe they want to turn it into 7.
They're going to try and get the momentum swinging back in their favor heading into halftime. Try and expand that lead. As here's Darnell. 50 seconds left. Wandre. And a timeout, it looks like. No, just a substitution. 35 seconds remaining. Clock still going. That's number 2, Wandre. He's got it. Around the crease, goes low. Ball was knocked away. It looks saved by Haney. 18 seconds left. Ball still loose. And Haney's got it. 13 seconds. Haney will launch it down the field. Dragons might try and get one more desperation shot before the half is over. And smartly, the Wolves knock it out of bounds.
Dragons will retain possession, though. And they're going to have to go quick here and try to just get a shot at least.
And doesn't look like they're going to get that off. France fires a long one. It was almost on target, but it goes wide right. That is the end of the first half. The Wolves and Dragons dead even after that 6-minute mark in the first quarter, but still the Wolves lead at 9-3 heading into halftime. We still got 24 minutes left of the cross, folks. Dragons not out of it yet. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after halftime. Welcome back to Dragon Stadium. 9-3 your scores. We are about set to begin this second half after a prolonged halftime here, as it is the Lake Orion Senior Night. We forgot to mention that at the top of the broadcast, but it is the Lake Orion Senior Night, so halftime was a little bit longer as Lake Orion honored all of their seniors in their final season in the green and white and their final home game here at Dragon Stadium.
A great ordeal done by the Dragons and the everyone that puts all their time and effort into this game. Parents and everything. everyone that's able to put time into this, putting that whole ceremony together. Parents and siblings being able to walk out with their seniors, brothers, and sons for the final time in a Dragon uniform.
And the Dragons are going to try and right the ship here in the second half, down by 6 against the bitter rival Clarkston Wolves. Clarkston just dominated the entire first half of the first quarter, but it's been pretty even since then, so the Dragons really got to swing the pendulum in their favor if they want to get back in this one, as Vasquez has it for Lake Orion. Just nothing doing, could not get inside whatsoever.
Gannon, one of the sparks for this Lake Orion team, had 2 goals in that second quarter.
And he's going to try for a third, and it's saved by Herachich. Good save by Robert Herachich. He's been outstanding so far tonight. A few really good saves, as that shot looked like it was blocked by number 15, Alex Davis.
The sophomore, Robert Herachich, has had a couple of near-perfect saves here tonight. Has looked amazing in goal for the Wolves.
Here's Narlock. Tries the jump shot. Can't get it to find the back of the net as Gingel's there to regain it. He loses the ball as he slips, and Herachich has it. He tries to pass that out to number 2, Denny Wandre, who's got 2 goals tonight for the Wolves.
And there's a flag on the field now.
Might be an illegal.
They're going to call a cross-check, most likely.
It's either going to be a cross-check or an illegal push from behind, as Wandre was getting beat up there as he got the ball. Brzezinski just laid out Lucas Dighton, and that's going to be a penalty as well. He just laid him out. And they are going to call 2 penalties here. Brzezinski's going to be one of them.
I believe Brzezinski's going to be both, actually. Either that or they're going to put one on Gingel as well.
They're going to go double trouble on Luke Brzezinski?
I think they're going to...
Looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like Brzezinski's going to get the possibly an unsportsmanlike alongside cross-check, possible illegal push in the back.
He might get every penalty in the book after that.
Just undisciplined by the Dragons.
Here's the call from the official.
And
one of them was
looks
a cross
like he
check.
Was doing some. Looked like almost he was threw up like 12 signs there for the penalties.
He gets 2 1-minute penalties just on himself. He got a 1 minute for slashing and a 1 minute for cross-checking. So here we go, Clarkston. It's the man advantage.
Those penalties will stack on top of each other.
The ball movement by the Wolves as Darnell finds Sinclair by the crease. Sinclair looking for a shot, doesn't have it. Dragon sideline making some noise. Here's Dighton in the middle. He'll fire a shot high, knocked away. Good save by Chris Haney. That one might have found the top left corner if Haney didn't get a stick on it. So here's Dighton. Darnell thought about letting one rip, and he holds off. Parker Royce, leading scorer for the Wolves, has it right now. Wandre now in double team, fires one low, and he goes wide right. Wolves still have it in their end. Royce finds for Morrow on the far side. Dighton now.
Penalty is over.
Brzezinski back on the field. Doesn't matter. Lucas Dighton gets on the board for the first time tonight. That is number 10 for the Wolves as a team. Dighton gets his first of the night, and the and Clarkston just continues the dominance. Foot on the gas.
And credit to the Wolves. They have not, let up at all. They're now at 7 goals, which is their biggest lead of the night. Tying for the largest lead of the night. They've been up 7 a couple times here now.
Preston Anderson battling for the faceoff with Jason Martindale, and he's won a good majority of the faceoffs tonight. He's been phenomenal there at the midfield. Dighton, great movement by the Wolves, and there's a good shot by number 18, Luke Darnell, and that's his first of the night. 11-3. Wolves pouring it on here at Dragon Stadium.
7 different goal scorers for the Wolves. Now have their biggest lead of the night in 8 goals. Barely 4 minutes into this third quarter in the second half, and 3 goals back to back to back.
Another face-off is won by the Wolves. Oh, my goodness. Now the Dragons are just playing really physical as number 9, Grady Harbin, looks like he's going to get a penalty for shoving Sean Sinclair into the ground. And
they're going to call that one on Lance Little, actually, number 13.
It's just frustration penalties. Look, Harbin and Little were both there at the same time, it looked like, and it could have went either way. But this is just absolutely frustration penalties right now, and Clarkston gets another man advantage, and the anger is not helping the Dragons right now. It's just making their situation worse, as we're seeing right now. Not scoring, and now they're down a man again. Clarkston scored with the last man advantage. See if they can do it again and take a commanding 9-goal lead.
Yeah, the Dragons are just looking to get the ball out by any means necessary, and those means have come to, drawing penalties.
And there it is. Capitalizing on the penalty once again, and it's Denny Wandre, and he's got his hat trick tonight. 12-3, the Wolves have just broken this thing wide open.
And we'll see what the Dragons do throughout this third quarter, but it looks like the Wolves have just found out what they need to do to continue to put salt to the wound and drive this score up 9 goals now.
And this is exactly what you didn't want to happen in any game for the Lake Orion Dragons this season, but especially on their senior night. This is just the biggest mood killer for sure, especially on a senior night. Just so disappointing for the Dragons. As here's Gannon on the far sideline, gives up to Gordon. Gordon's got it. Works it into the X to Vasquez. Vasquez working around. Dishes out to Gannon. Gannon's already got 2 tonight. He tries for a third. Shot got knocked loose. Scooped up by Robert Herachich. Here come the Wolves again. It's Luke Darnell on the right side. He's got a lane, and it's cut off by number 59, Curtis Meach. Dighton looks through the middle. Slings it back across. That one hits the post. An absolute rocket fired by Travis Bourdin hits the side of the left post, and it goes out of bounds. Wolves retain. It doesn't matter. Parker Royce just buries his 4th of the night, and the Wolves just continue to pour it on, just insult to injury for Lake Orion tonight. And there's still 7 minutes left in this third quarter. My goodness.
Loss for words is what to describe. The Wolves have continued to just pack the punches in now up 10 goals. 4 straight for them starting off this third quarter. And what looked to be, coming into this game, 2 highly competitive, top-ranked teams in the state. And the Wolves have shown who the better team is.
It's just been one-sided all night long as there's Jason Martindale, dishes out to Dighton. Wolves don't look like they're slowing down at all. They're still pushing the pace on offense. And why would you? This is your bitter rivals right here. You just play 100% until the final whistle, even if you're up by 100. As Dighton fires, a shot goes wide right. Here's Darnell. Saved by Haney. Good shot by Darnell. Haney was able to get the stick there. And Lights loses control after some contact from Darnell. Physical play going on right now. Ball still on the ground. Nobody can get to it. And finally, number 29, Gil Lara picks it up, and he loses it. And it's a whistle, and it's Wolves' ball. Lara looked like it hit his foot when it went out of bounds. As there goes Wandre, and he'll put it right in. Wow. What a deke by Wandre. It looked like he was going to fling that pass across the field. He faked out Haney completely and just drops it right in the net. Phenomenal stuff from Wandre, and he's got 4 tonight as well.
Between Parker Royce and Stephen Wandre, they have 8 goals. Just the two of them.
And then there's 4 other guys with 1 each, and Sean Sinclair has 2. 14-3. Oh my goodness. The Wolves are having a night here in Lake Orion. And the Dragons have it with Vasquez. At this point, for the Dragons, still 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. You're just trying to make the score look respectable and not get blown out by your rivals on senior night.
At this point, you just have to take any shot that presents itself and close your eyes and hope that it goes in.
And there it is. Vasquez gets one. Puts it between the legs of the goalie, Herachich. A good shot by Vasquez. And there's the start. They can just make some progress here. Still not completely out of it because they've still got a full quarter and a half to play, but it's not looking too likely if you're the Lake Orion Dragons down by 10.
Well, we've seen 6 goals in 6 minutes. Maybe we can see 6 goals in 5 minutes and 22 seconds.
With the way that the Dragons have been playing, though, that's a giant question mark, if you ask me.
Highly unlikely, but not impossible. We'll see what the Dragons can do here now.
Dragons need to steal the Clarkston game plan if they want that to happen.
And just mistakes by the Dragons.
Turnovers can't happen this late in the game when you're down by this much. You need to take advantage of every offensive possession you get. Because Clarkston hasn't given Lake Orion many. And the ones that Lake Orion had, they haven't scored on too many of them. As there's number 11, Lucas Seedorf. Gives up to Dighton. Now it's Royce. Was looking for number 14, Evan Thon. And it rolls to the midfield. Oh, my. Physical play by Kobe Narlock. He went and just swung his stick as hard as he could, and he smoked Evan Thon.
Looked like Shohei Ohtani trying to take a hack at a home run there.
Sure did. And he definitely squirted up pretty good. Clarkston does get the ball back, however. As Parker Royce finds the back of the net again, he's got 5. Parker Royce have a night.
Parker Royce has now outscored the Dragons by himself tonight.
Him and Denny Wandre have just doubled the Dragons' score on their own. Royce with 5, Wandre with 4, Sean Sinclair with 2, Luke Darnell with 1, Jamison Wald with 1, Travis Bourdine with 1, and Lucas Dighton with 1. It's 15-4. Clarkston looks like they might get another possession again. Never mind. Good play there by number 27, Luke Dilberti. And Dragons have it. There's Vasquez. Dish. Narlock loses it. And he'll go outside. Winds up. Finds the back of the net. A good shot. Kobe Narlock finds the back of the net. That is his first of the night. 15-5. Now these teams starting to trade blows, it seems like. Goal for goal now. But that is not the pace you need if you're the Dragons. You need to go goal after goal after goal. You can't just be going blow for blow with Clarkston. You've got to gain momentum, and they have not gained any in this game.
You have to go on a scoring run, and
it's got to be a big one.
It's got to be now. That's the thing. You can't allow them to drain more time off the clock. If you want any chance, and it's a slim one, to put yourself in a respectable score for this game, you have to go now.
And there's going to be a penalty, it looks like. Yeah, they're going to blow this dead. It looked like Denny Wandre went down. And looks like it's going to be a Dragon penalty. Question is who?
Looks like they'll put that on.
Still nobody going to the box yet.
Possibly on Gordon. No one going to the box as of yet.
Nothing yet. There's a tripping penalty, but I don't see anybody in the penalty box. The Dragons are down a man. And it was on Gordon. He will go down to a knee.
Yeah, Gordon was one of the defenders or one of the guys in there for the Dragons on that attempted turnover.
Oh, high shot there from Luke Darnell. He just sneaks it under the crossbar. He's got 2 tonight.
It's the fourth Wolf with multiple goals in tonight's game. He'll go along with 3 other Wolves, along with 3 other Wolves with 1 goal, including Jamison Wald, Travis Bourdine, and Lucas Ditton with 1. And then, obviously, as mentioned, Denny Wandre, Parker Royce, Luke Darmel, and Sean Sinclair with multiple.
This has just been a masterclass by Clarkston from start to finish. Clarkston was 10-2 heading into this game. Lake Orion was 10-3. Both these teams ranked in the state of Michigan Division I. And Clarkston has just shown how far separated they are from the Dragons. And Lake Orion calls a timeout.
Looking for a score, a schedule, a story? MHSAA.com has you covered with everything you need to follow high school sports in Michigan. It works great on mobile devices, and it makes tournament information even easier to find. Plus, get all the feature stories and finals recaps right on the front page. Check out MHSAA.com. Wolves lead at 16-5 with 2 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in this third quarter. About 15 minutes left to go in this game, and the Dragons looking helpless. And, you know, the boa constrictor is continuing to constrict in the
to say the least. Let's be honest here. Those first, even just the first 2 minutes of that first quarter really just kind of set the tone for how this whole game was going to go. Within the first 2 minutes, Clarkston scored boom, boom, 2 quick goals. and it just really set the tone for how this game was going to go, and it's just straight up domination by the Wolves, 16-5, let alone on Lake Orion senior night as well, as it looks like the Dragons have another goalie change. They're putting in the freshman, number 46, Sonny Gemmel.
So looking to get a guy that's probably going to be here for a while in the future, the freshman on the varsity team.
There's a good shot by Gannon, and now he has a hat trick of his own for the Dragons. 16-6.
Parker Gannon has been the lone star on this Dragons team. He's one of 4 Dragons with a goal.
He's the only one with multiple.
Only one with multiple, but every guy besides Jackie Vasquez who has a goal has been heavily penalized throughout this game. Kobe Narlock with a couple costly penalties, especially in that first half. And as of recently, Luke Brzezinski's been in the penalty box for a while now.
We got a whistle, and there's a flag on the field. Still waiting to see what the penalty is. And it looks like it's going to be on Harbin for Lake Orion. Clarkston's going to get the man advantage once again. They're 2 for 2 with the man advantage in the second half. Looking to make it 3 for 3. They might push 20 goals tonight.
With the pace they're moving at now, they're scoring about 5-6 goals a quarter as of right now.
At least.
And yeah, if they're gonna continue at this pace, then it's gonna get ugly. It already is ugly.
It already has kind of gotten pretty ugly. But it's gonna get even uglier if Clarkston continues to do what they've been doing.
And they have shown no sign of breaking in this game.
All their starters are still in. Just absolutely taking it to the Dragons.
They're trying to show that the difference between number 3 and number 32, Charlie Formano with the goal.
Let's just take a moment to appreciate the amazing ball movement that was that possession for the Wolves. Dighton from about the 30-yard line threw that to the crease for Sean Sinclair, and he found a wide open. Instead of being selfish and trying to take the shot from just outside the crease, found a wide open Charlie Formaro on the far side, and he just buries it, and it's 17-5 Clarkston. Phenomenal ball movement on that possession.
Yeah, the Wolves are making a statement and saying, "Hey, you know, we're high ranked in the state. We're about number 3. You know, there's a big gap between number 3 and number 11 that the Dragons have been ranked at on this season."
And that gap is bigger than 8 spots tonight. It sure seems, because they're up by 11 tonight. About 11.
It's about 11 goals between them. And just 11 goals and a whole lot of domination.
Like we said, that first quarter has really set the tone for the Wolves. They've just been dominating from start to finish. And it's not even the end of the third quarter yet. As here's Darnell. Got it again. Going to work on Vasquez. And he'll fire one left-handed. Good save by Gemmel. Gordon's got it. 3 Wolves around him.
The Dragons just looking for something, trying to get a little confidence going, and there's going to be a flag on the play.
Dragons will have a man advantage here coming up.
Looks like there might be 2.
Yeah, there is a flag behind the net over there.
Along with right about on like the 32-yard line on the close sideline.
Could be for the same penalty, though. They did come down at about the same time. Less than 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Wolves lead by a bunch. Here's Kobe Narlock. Trying to go to work. Fights through the contact and loses the ball. Still corralled by the Dragons. Vasquez pump fakes, loses it again. 5 seconds left in this third quarter. The penalty will start as the fourth quarter starts as Gordon fires one right into the stick of Robert Herachich, and that will end the third quarter. The Wolves have just completely broken this game wide open. Fourth quarter starting up here soon. We'll be right back, folks.
As the voice of Michigan student-athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect for all those involved in the game.
Enjoy the game.
Welcome back to Dragon Stadium. Fourth quarter just about underway. 17-6. The Clarkston Wolves lead by a lot here tonight. Just absolutely just every facet of the game. Clarkston has just been miles better from start to finish. Offense, defense, just fielding the simple ground balls, face-offs. Clarkston has been all over Lake Orion from start to finish, and it has not been competitive hardly at all.
And there's a little bit of argument going on between the Clarkston head coach and the Lake Orion head coach. So a little, some choice words shared between the coaches. And
I do wonder what the confusion was about, though. That is the thing I just don't know.
It might have been, hey, you guys are up 11. You know, you don't have to go 100% the whole time. But from a Clarkston standpoint, it's a rivalry game. You're going to put pedal to the metal no matter what.
You get where Clarkston's coming from, as Lake Orion does start this fourth quarter with a man advantage. There was a penalty on the Wolves nearing the end of that third, and it never came into fruition. So now it does as we begin the fourth. So that might have been why there was no face-off to start in this fourth quarter, as the Dragons started with the man advantage to just get the ball. Vasquez fires a long shot wide left.
Yeah, that was about 3 lacrosse balls left.
The Dragons do retain it, still have about 20 seconds left in the penalty. Vasquez thought about the shot, doesn't take it. Outside to Brzezinski, good ball movement. That's a phenomenal shot by Joe Gingell from low to high. He shot that from below his waist and just snuck it in the top right corner. That doesn't get any better than that. Placement by Joe Gingell. Phenomenal stuff. 17-7.
That goal to cut the lead to just 10. So the face-off here for the Dragons.
Penalty is over. We got a whistle. And we got some substitutions going on from both sides. And looks like it might have been a turnover. Yeah, Ligorian's got the ball here. Lights launches this one across midfield.
Gannon got it there.
Narlock lost it. It's on the sideline. And there's a flag. There's a penalty coming on the Wolves. Narlock with a jump shot. Wow. Kobe Narlock mid-air finds it. What a shot by Kobe Narlock. Down by 9 are the Dragons. They might be pretty much out of it by now, but they're definitely still showing some fight. And they will have a man advantage after a great shot by Kobe Narlock. And that is his second of the game.
Dragons now down 9. Kobe Narlock with his second goal of the game.
Now he joins Parker Gannon as the only 2 Dragons with multiple goals tonight. Gingell, Vasquez, and Brzezinski all tacked on 1. Dragons win the face-off.
They got 1 minute for slashing.
Have the man advantage. Here's Gannon to Narlock.
They got to go quickly here. They can't let just time bleed off the clock.
10 minutes seems like a lot of time when you're down by as much as Lake Orion is, down by 9. It's not much. But we have seen Clarkston did score pretty much a goal a minute in that first quarter. They scored 6 goals in the first 6 minutes of the game.
And just getting berated, number 4, Jason Martindale, just absolutely berated by 4 Dragons.
And they got a whistle. I think they blew the play dead. There might have been, I think Kobe Narlock swung his stick like low on Jason Martindale. It looked like it hit him in the legs. He did knock the ball out. So it looks like they just gave the ball right back to Clarkston. And the Wolves are probably just going to try and bleed as much clock as they can. As here's Darnell just hanging out around the 40-yard line. Now he'll pass to Royce. Saved by Gamel. Clarkston retains. Dighton brings it in for the Wolves. 9 minutes to go. Inside, there's Wandre again. Denny Wandre, and he's got his 5th of the night. Joins Parker Royce. They're tied once again in goals. And it is 18-8. Wolves get back to the double-digit lead. They are pushing for 20 tonight. Just a reminder to all you fans watching from home, it is 12 goals is the requirement for a running clock to start in lacrosse. We're at 10 right now. We've been close. Clarkston's trying to get to that running clock mark. Looking to spoil Lake Orion Senior night a little bit quicker. Martindale wins another face-off.
Dragons are going to get the ball, though. Here's Gingell.
Martindale scooped it up and then was just clocked by, looked like it was number 69, Joey Nearing. Here's Brzezinski with 8.5 to go. I'll move inside and give it to Dopke. Gavin Dopke inside pulls the shot across. Out of bounds, Gingell there. Dragons retain.
Dopke just a little left on that shot. It was close, but a little bit more accurate, and it would have gone in.
Brzezinski fires one, goes high. And Haynes was there. Lake Orion retains possession again. Gingell. Brzezinski has it at the 35, defended by number 19, Braden Weich. Brzezinski's got it. Still spikes the shot, saved by Hericic.
Dragons keep possession, though.
Gordon looking around, pump fakes. Gives it up to Brzezinski again. Gordon gives to Haynes. Dragons working the perimeter, working the outsides. Gordon going to check out now. Harbin comes in for him. There's Dopke with a shot, saved again by Hericic. Van Hoosen recovers the loose ball. Dopke's got it now.
And this will be Gannon now. He's got 3.
Looking for 4, and he can't get it. Scores it in the other net beyond the end zone. But that is out of bounds.
So Gingell will take it in for the Dragons. And the Dragons just milking this time away.
Here's France around the near side. Vasquez.
He lost the ball there.
Gingell somehow kept that ball from going out of bounds. 6.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Wolves still have a commanding lead. Gannon has it. Far side. To France. Works the middle. Fires the shot off the post. It was a good look for Nick France. And it just went off the post. He got it by Hericic, just at a tough angle. And the Dragons retained possession. It went out of bounds off the post to their sideline, to their bench. Under 6 to play. Gordon pushes. Slings that out of bounds. He was looking for Haynes down near the X, and he just launches it onto the track. 5:46 remaining. There's a penalty on the Wolves. Sounds like, yes, it's going to be a 1 minute for slashing on number 11, Lucas Seedorf.
So Dragons will look to cut it to single digits to make it a little bit more respectable.
That just seems like what they've been trying to do this entire second half. Clarkston is just not taking their foot off the gas, and Lake Orion only able to just make it not seem like a blowout, not even going for a win at this point. Gannon gives up to Gordon, with Lake Orion with the man advantage.
Looked like Gannon was going to take a shot there, but decided against it. And now, again with the pump fake.
That shot got blocked. There's 25 seconds left on the penalty for the Wolves. Here come the Dragons. Narlock has it in the far corner.
And if you're going to score another goal, it's going to have to be now with this man advantage. Got to take advantage of it.
Narlock looks to do just that and fires it high. Out of bounds. 15 seconds left on the man advantage. Penalty almost over, 2 seconds left. Gannon has it as Seedorf comes back on the field. No, excuse me, that is number 27, Marcus Paul. Checks in for Seedorf. Narlock gives it up. Gannon fires out of bounds again. Haynes there. 4.5 to go in this fourth quarter. Lake Orion had possession for a while, does not come away with any goals.
They've had possession for about 3 minutes here now, and they haven't worked anything really close to the net yet. They've had a couple shot attempts, but they haven't got anything that looked good on net, a couple of shots that went wide.
And there's another one that goes wide by Gordon. Jack Haynes just hanging out back there behind the net. He's just keeping possession for the Dragons just by standing there, it seems like. Doing his job. Gannon going to try the middle. Works back to the middle backhand. And he scores! He bounced it underneath the crossbar. I don't know how that found the back of the net, but sure enough it did, and Parker Gannon's got his 4th of the night.
And this kind of offense would have worked for the Dragons if they were up right now, but they're down by double digits. Well, now down by 9, but they can't continue. They shouldn't have continued to play like that. Throughout this whole game, they've tried to go the slow-paced offense that, you might be known for it and you might be good at it, but when you're down by a surplus amount of goals, you can't say, hey, let's control the clock, let's chew some time off and things like that, but you're down. You need to score goals, and you can't just let the time get away from you.
Just fire as many shots as you can and hope they somehow squeak through. Robert Heritage, who has been great tonight for the most part for the Wolves, made some phenomenal saves, especially when the game was a little bit closer earlier on. Now Lake Orion has found the back of the net a little bit more, but it doesn't matter because the Clarkston offense has just been on fire all night as we are approaching the 3-minute mark.
And to be frank, 9 goals in a game is not, small.
That is not a bad mark, but the problem is when you're behind by 6+ the entire game, it just doesn't seem like anything. When your bitter rivals have doubled your score, it makes 9 look like nothing.
And, yeah, it's okay. 9 goals will win you a game 80% of the time. But when you're down by 9 as well and go down by 6 minutes into the game, 9 goals isn't going to win you a game.
It's just absolutely not enough. Nowhere near enough as got a timeout taken, it looks like, by the Wolves. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Lake Orion High School Dragon Broadcast Program. Stay up to date through our social media. You can follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram, or visit our website at www.dragonbroadcasting.org. Learn more about our classes, watch shows on demand, and check out our upcoming live broadcast schedule. It's all on our websites.
Two minutes and 56 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter. Dragons down by 9 goals, and the the Wolves have really secured this game from the get-go.
Yeah, they just, like we were saying a lot, and we mentioned it a lot this broadcast, but that first quarter just completely set the tone. Man, the Wolves just start to finish, foot on the gas, just not letting Lake Orion even make it look competitive. They've been up by 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 goals at some point, at any point in this game. They've been up by a ton the whole time, and they just haven't shown any signs of stopping.
Their smallest lead since that 6-goal run that we talked about in that first quarter was 4 goals. They have led by at least 4 goals.
For the entirety of this game.
For the entirety of this game, outside the first 6 minutes of the game, which it was 0-0 for 6 minutes, and then, halfway through the first quarter, it was 6-0.
We got a whistle and a save by Sonny Gemmel, and they're calling goalie interference. Lake Orion gets the ball. Just over 2 minutes left. Dragons look like they're trying to crack double digits.
And again, just make this score look more representable, more
respectable.
Be able to look at it and say, yeah, they were the better team, but we played. But again, you think what could have been if the Dragons came out and played defense like they'd had this whole game and scored like they had this whole game. you take out that first 6 minutes, as we talked about.
Yeah, you take out the first 6 minutes of the game. This is still a 12-9 game, and it's still pretty competitive. The Dragons still have a chance to come back, but those first 6 minutes really just what killed them.
Yeah, and you take out those first 6 minutes, and this fourth quarter looks a lot different. The Dragons held the ball for almost over 3 minutes and didn't get a goal out of it. If you're down by 3 goals, which they would be right now, you're shooting more shots than what it's like when you're down 9.
And you're still competitive in this game. You're looking to come back, but like we said, those first 6 minutes just set the tone and just killed them. And it just hasn't been close since. Approaching 1 minute to go. It's still 18-9 as there's a shot fired by France. We have a new goalie in for the Wolves for the last 2 minutes of this game, and it's Gage Preston, a junior.
1 minute left in the game.
Giving Robert Hericich the last 2 minutes off, who's had a very good night in net tonight. And Ginjal goes low, saved by Preston.
He got the ball back somehow, though.
And that's at the feet of Preston. He saves it again. Here's Wandre with 35 seconds left. Wolves might just chew the rest of this clock, or are they going to go for one more? Time will tell.
They can chew this clock, but
I don't know if they're going to want to. And Dighton just stops. Yeah, it doesn't look like the Wolves are moving around a whole lot.
And as time winds down,
Dighton passes to Wandre. 13 seconds left, and Wandre will just hang out by midfield. Sling it out to Luke Darnell. One final time in this game. 5 seconds to go. And the Wolves come into Dragon Stadium and spoil the Lake Orion Senior Night in a big way. 18-9 your final score. Utter domination from start to finish in this heavyweight battle. Thank you for watching this presentation of the MHSAA Boys Lacrosse. Today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Lake Orion High School. Once again, the final score of tonight's game, the Clarkston Wolves 18 and the Lake Orion Dragons 9. On behalf of our entire broadcast crew, Colin Ensminger on graphics, Brendan Cox on camera, and my partner Dylan Lindberg, I'm Aiden Novak. So long, everybody. We'll see you next time.